Okay, MegaWhale team, welcome back to the channel and thank you for tuning in. I hope you're all having an absolutely excellent day today. In today's video, we are taking a look at the recent explosive breakout of our 8-day long horizontal consolidation, which resulted in an aggressive rally to retest that $89,000 resistance. We can see that having a retest here on the daily chart. This major 89,000 resistance is the last level of major resistance Bitcoin will need to break above to officially confirm a reversal is in. Until then, the possibility for corrections to develop from this level of resistance, resulting in steeper, more aggressive downward price action, is still on the card. So although we have seen a fantastic move upwards, we are definitely not out of the woods yet. In today's video, we are going over the short-term price action in detail, discussing the possibility for a rejection from this region, how low that could take us and what it will mean for the macro, as well as the probability for a break over 89,000, and again, what that will look like and how that could play out. We'll also be taking a look at our monthly charts and our weekly charts in today's video. Before we get into it, smash the like button, hit the comment button, and subscribe to the channel. We post daily videos for Bitcoin focusing on the facts, the data, the technical, and the structural information. No hype, no BS, no emotion, pure raw TA. If that is the kind of content you are interested in, you can join us on Telegram. This is the first link down below. You'll get access to charts, updates, videos, educational posts, news events, and everything you need to stay in the loop with cryptocurrency with Bitcoin and the relevant economic news. And if you were interested in taking your trading to the next level, join us in VIP. Click the pinned comment, contact our admin, check out our 50+ month trading track record, or even a 10-minute video showing you inside the VIP channel itself. You'll get access to 2 channels, the main VIP group chat, where we post trading setups with exact entries, targets, stop losses, trade justification, and exclusive analysis, as well as access to our VIP group chat with all our 700 members discussing cryptocurrency on a daily basis, from the general chat to the trading, education, and chart chat to the help chat to a daily video, community trade setup, and news chat. Check it all out, guys. We'll see you in there, and let's dive on in. So as we can see here, the price action has seen a continuation upward, and we were yapping on all of last week, discussing how this horizontal consolidation was going to be a very, very important level and would likely result in a very reactive move, whether it be a break toward the upside or a break toward the downside. We posted this in our Telegram channel yesterday. I don't know if that popped up on the screen over here. We can see our expectations were that when we were to break through this $89,000 level, we were expecting a rally into, breakthrough this $86,000 level. This range high, we were expecting a rally into that next high time frame resistance, which was 89,000. We have since seen that. In today's video, we'll discuss what this means. Let's start on the market data, 24-hour volume and liquidations. Let's go ahead and take a look at all of this. Let's jump into that volume and liquidations, guys. We're going to go ahead and discuss that in a second, because I actually don't have that tab up right now. So I'll open up a new tab on the side over here to discuss that in just a moment. But taking a look first and foremost now at the DXY, we can see the DXY has actually dropped pretty aggressively here toward the downside and has been going down for quite some time now. We are expecting the DXY to continue toward the downside over the course of the next year, potentially 6 months to 12 months. We are watching this high time frame level of around 93 on the DXY for potential targets and reversals on the macro. Now, this is going to be expected provided this change of character level remains as a level of resistance. That is sitting at exactly 100, again, a psychological level. So provided we remain under 100, we are expecting an eventual continuation all the way down to 93. And again, if we break back above 100, that could mark a reversal and mark this part here as deviation, similar to what we saw on the top side. But the overall expectation currently is that we move towards 93. The S&P 500 is still not looking amazing. A lot of people jumping in very early, jumping in massive amounts of FOMO last week on that 90-day pause. You can see here the 90-day pause brought the price right up to retest this break of structure, developing yet again a third lower high over here. So we've got our second, or should I say our second lower high, this being our first and this being our second lower high. The price action is still in this overall downward trajectory, establishing a second lower high at the price of around 5,500. 5,500 being the prior break of structure is our future level of resistance, and a point of which that is going to need to break as a trigger to result in the price properly reversing back to 5,800. Until then, the potential for further downward price action is on the cards. However, we need to assume that we do have potential support here, which could act as a local bottom while the price action sits above those daily lows. So what we're looking at now is a potential range developing between the daily low and the daily high. If we break the daily low, expect continuations back into 4,800. If we break the daily high, expect reversals to develop to 5,800. Until then, expect chop to continue through this range, but slightly more leaning toward that downside. So that is how we're looking at this right now. In terms of the weekly on the S&P 500, we're not looking at too much more other than, again, that critical level of 5,500. We almost came down to retest this level over here at the 200 moving average. So we do have the potential for a little bit more of a downward move. If we're looking at momentum here on the weekly, we're not seeing immediate signs of any sort of exhaustion developing here on the weekly momentum, meaning there is still potential that this downtrend is in play, and we may see the price action dribble a little bit lower. Let's take a look now at that liquidation data. We'll bring it up over here. The liquidation data, 24-hour volume is up 70% at 247 billion. Liquidations, 273 million, 103 million from longs, 170 million coming from shorts, up 68% over the past 24 hours as a consequence of, again, this mass amount of volatility. Let's go ahead and put a pin in it there, guys. We'll jump into the rest of the analysis in just a moment. If you were interested in supporting the channel, however, and supporting yourself in your trading journey, you can sign up to BitGet, BitUnix, or BingX with the exchange links down below. That will get you access to an exclusive 15% lifetime trading fee discount using the links down below, and that can build up to 45% based on your individual trading volume. You'll support me making this content on a daily basis, and most importantly, you'll be trading on an exchange I trade and I trust. You'll also support yourself in your trading, so go ahead and check it out, and we'll see you back in just a second. If you are looking for a new exchange or just want to support the channel, sign up to BitUnix with the link down below. You'll get a lifetime trading fee discount of 15%, which can build up to 45% based on your trading volume, as well as access to a bonus reward center, and of course, all of the exclusive campaigns we run on this exchange. You'll also get access to BitUnix being a non-KYC exchange, meaning you can sign up from anywhere in the globe without regulations. And most importantly, I only promote exchanges I trust and I use. As you can see, I trade on BitUnix very regularly, being the highest VIP level with over $500 million in trading volume for the last 30 days. And lastly, if you were interested in signing up to our other two exchanges, BingX or BitGet, you can also do that via the links down below. You as well will get the 15% trading fee discount and everything else that comes with it. Go ahead and sign up. Thank you for supporting. Let's jump back in. Okay guys, let's go ahead and jump right back into it. Taking a look at that short-term price action, we can see we have had the breakout. Now, if we're taking that measured move of that breakout from the range high to the range low and applying it to the breakout point, you can see we pushed directly right into this range high at 89,000. So we didn't complete the measured move per se completely, but the measured move is always just an indication of direction, and what we're looking at for reversals is going to be our levels of liquidity. So drawing out to the higher time frame here on the 4 hour, we had got our major point of resistance, a point of resistance we discussed over the past 2 or 3 months. This is of course our March high, which we also retested at the beginning of April, the start of this month, and now we have retested for a third time. This corresponds with that $89,000 resistance, which is acting as the macro bullish trigger. So what we have seen is a rally back up to retest this level. We have seen a short-term rejection, and this is proving yet again that the 89K, although it is a major point of resistance, we are not technically going to be confirming a high time frame reversal until we have a break of 89,000. So let's quickly go back to the weekly chart and discuss the weekly breakout. As we talked about in the video before yesterday, I believe, the weekly breakout of the downtrend in the RSI and the downtrend of the price action, this overall downtrend, was a leading indicator for the price action to retest 89,000, which we have now done. It is not a leading indicator for the price action to potentially break through 89,000. The target was, of course, the next or the closest most level of high time frame resistance upon the breakout of the downtrend, that being 89. So if we're looking at the weekly chart, there is no indication here that we are going to see a continuation directly through 89. We need to be watching the short-term charts to actually confirm that. And again, if we go to the daily chart, we can still see just how much resistance this $89,000 region is providing. We'll come back and discuss this in a second when we talk about bullish targets if we do break through 89K. But let's go to the short term really quickly. So we've identified already for Bitcoin to commence that next leg toward the upside, which could take us into 92, which could take us into 96, we need to see the price actually break through this $89,000 region. What I like to do sometimes is invert the chart and look at the chart from a different perspective. We can see here, we have got a major horizontal support over here with our sell side liquidity sitting around 91 to 92, and of course our breaker structures around 95. So we do see a loss of 89,000. We will very much likely see a rally, or should I say a correction here, into 92, potentially as low as 95,000 for Bitcoin, yet again confirming the fact that a break of 89,000 will result in a rally in the price action. But until we break through that level, resistance is resistance until it is not. And there is still a potential of reversals. So let's talk about the worst case scenario. First and foremost, we need to identify trigger points, which when if broken, will confirm or massively shift the probabilities in favor of downward continuation. There are two trigger points we are watching. Trigger point number one is going to be our $86,000 level of support, and trigger point number two is going to be 88.5. This zone over here is essentially going to be an area of support. You can imagine it to be a last line of short-term support. If the price action drops below this level at any point in time prior to the break of 89,000, it is highly likely we are going to see a continuation through 83,000, and that will of course result in a steeper correction into that sub $80,000 region. So that is still a potential. However, while we are sitting above 86 to 85, so while we are sitting above this region, the probability for this is incredibly low. Okay, the probability is incredibly low. What we could see is a correction back to retest, only then to see a reversal back toward the upside, confirming a support resistance flip. So essentially what this would mean is if we come down to test this area as an area of demand again, or area of support, whatever you want to call it, okay, and the price action shows the inability to sustain at this level of support, it would, I guess, alternatively suggest that the demand is not there for Bitcoin, and we will likely see the price action correcting through this level of liquidity. So that is how we're looking at that right now. If we come down to retest this area of support and we do not find demand here, we do not find the ability to reverse the price action and establish this as a support, it is likely we crumble down back below 83 and back into 80,000. Now, while we are sitting above 86, like I said, the potential for continuations through 89 remain intact. We have got the weekly RSI break, we have got the positive break on the trend line on the weekly, and now we have broken through its horizontal structure. The only thing we need to see now is, of course, your short-term price action to continue to remain above 86,000 for long enough that will facilitate a break of 89, and then we will see a continuation higher. So let's talk about the bullish case scenario. If we do see that occur, like we mentioned already, potential targets on the short term, 92,000, 95,000, and of course we have got this VRPV valley over here, or should I say mountain over here. We can see that starts to steepen as the price action climbs up into that $95,000 region, which would confirm the fact if we were to see a break of 89,000, it is likely that initial move upward would be very violent to 92. And then we will start to see a slower and more gradual upward climb into 95, where we will then likely see a short-term rejection develop from. That would be best case scenario for the buyers. So let's now talk about the bearish scenario. As we have just mentioned, the potential for corrections if we do not sustain above these levels. As we can see here, guys, we have, of course, rally pretty aggressively to retest 88.4 exactly. This is going to be a local high. So we are establishing this as a local high, and therefore this is going to be a local level of resistance. The assumption is resistance until it is not. So while we remain underneath this region, the expectations on the short term is that we come back down to retest our nearest level of support. So if we're putting a order of events, it would be number one, expecting retests of 86,000. At 86,000, we then have two options. We sustain and create a support resistance flip, resulting in a rally through 89K, or we fail to hold 86,000, confirming a reversal below 85.5, and then looking for continuations lower. Those are the alternative scenarios we are watching currently. If we break through 88.4K with positive momentum, it is likely that this recent pullback, although did not retest that $86,000 region, was sufficient to absorb the selling pressure for a price continuation upwards. So you can see, guys, there's a lot going, there's a lot of different dynamics happening here on the chart that you do need to pay attention of. But the most important thing is, again, we're watching level by level, playing the charts level by level. Now, best case scenario, we see the 89K break, we see the price action go up. There are a lot of potential long opportunities here for altcoins if we see, and I say if we see this confirmation, if we see that market rally through 89K, we are confident Bitcoin will go higher, and we are confident we will see the total market cap and the total altcoin market cap see at least a week or two period of green. Will that be a macro reversal forever? You know, it's very hard to predict, but at least we will see some degree of reversals across the board, at least 10, 15, 20% for some coins, which may present some good opportunities for trade. So that is something you have to be aware of again for the upside. That is it, guys. I think we'll wrap it up there. There's not actually much more to talk about today. The most important thing I want to discuss was that we saw the breakout. We have now retested 89,000. 89,000 being that incredibly important level. Of course, if we want to see continuations higher, we absolutely need to break through 89,000. If we fail to break through 89,000, this is not going to be sufficient for a reversal, right? We could very well just see, like I said, in the short term, we could see the price action crumble through, correct back down sub 80,000. If we see that happen, well, then we start activating these bearish triggers, such as the loss of the weekly Gaussian channel, such as the loss of the 50 EMA, such as the loss of our 2-week baseline of the Ichimoku cloud. If any of those three indicators start breaking down, every single one of those historically has acted as major macro sell signals and major macro reversal signals, which all are pointing towards one price point, and that is going to be the $55,000 to $52,000 region. So if we lose these levels, 55 to 52,000 is very much on the cards. It is very much possible, and we really need to see the price action clear that $89,000 region to invalidate those bearish targets as possible eventual future price targets. Okay, guys, so thanks for tuning in. Have a fantastic day. We'll have more to talk about on Thursday, and we'll look forward to see you in that video then. So we'll see you then. Have a great day. Bye.